Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Law Educators. So friends, today I am presenting my second part of corporate law series, and in this video we will learn and we will understand registration, incorporation and formation of a company under company law. So it is very important topic. So let's start with Law Educators. So today's learning objectives are: after incorporation, a body corporate comes into existence. Incorporation is the act of forming a new body corporate business structure. The student will know what is meant by registration and incorporation of a company. Second, we will learn or understand the process of registration and incorporation of company and required documents for the company incorporations, and as well as advantages are accrued after incorporation of a company. So let's start. Through this video we can understand registration and incorporation of companies, how a company registered under the Companies Act 2013. So the Companies Act 2013 stipulates the process for registration and incorporation of companies in India for all types of companies, including private and public companies. Minimum 2 directors and 2 shareholders are required for incorporating a private company, whereas minimum 3 directors and 7 shareholders are required for incorporating a public company. So there is a difference between the private and public company, in which private company minimum 2 directors and 2 shareholders are required for the incorporation, and minimum 3 directors and 7 shareholders are required for incorporation of a public company. Minimum paid capital of a private company at the time of incorporation was required to be rupees 1 lakh and 5 lakh for a public company. So there is second difference: 1 lakh rupees capital amount for private companies was required and 5 lakh for a public company. But this requirement no longer exists for the incorporation of any private or public company. Companies which are set up with foreign investment like FDI have to be incorporated under the Companies Act 2013. With the registrar of companies, once a company is registered in India, it is guided by the Indian laws. A company is formed by registering the memorandum and article of association with the registrar of a companies of the state in which the main office of the company is to be located. So learning outcomes are: introduction to the first and the most important step in forming a company incorporation under the Companies Act 2013, understanding the basic document of the company, memorandum of association and article of association, understanding their importance in incorporating a law according to the law. Understand the change brought in the process of incorporation by the 2013 Companies Act. Now talking about registration, doing business in a company form of an organization gives its promoter all the advantages for the company or corporate personality, which includes separate corporate existence. Besides, the promoter get many advantages for instance related to tax benefits and safeguarding the names of business, etc. So there are some benefit of registration of a company. First is a legal liability protection, tax benefits, safeguarding the name of the business, or easier to obtain business insurance. So these are the following benefit of registration of a company. Another benefit of registration is receiving some legal liability protection. If you are incorporate a company, you will not be held personally responsible for certain accidents and other liabilities. Consequently, you may find it easier to obtain business insurance or attract investors since they will know you are not personally responsible for the company's well-being. Following the above reasons, our registration of a company is an important part of starting a business. Therefore, before registering a company, one needs to fulfill some legal formalities for which promoter must make a decision regarding the types of company they want to start, like a public company or a private company or limited or unlimited company, and accordingly prepare the document for incorporation of the company. In this connection of memorandum and article of association are fundamental documents to be prepared. Now talking about some declaration which is related to document with annexures needs to be required, which is first is document evidencing payment of fees, payment receipt like memorandum and article of association, copy of agreement if any which the proposed company wishes to enter into with any individual for appointment as its managing or whole-time director or manager. Form 18, Form 32 except for companies for charitable purposes. Form 39 only in case of public companies. Power of attorney from subscribers. Letter from registrar of a company is making names available. No objection letter from directors and promoters. Requisite fees either in cash or demand draft. So these are the declaration with annexures. Now moving to the important documents, memorandum and article. For the purpose of incorporation, memorandum and articles are the most important document to be submitted to the ROC, Registrar of Companies. Memorandum is a document that sets out the foundation of the company. It contains the objective and the scope of activity of the company as well as also defines the relationship of the company with the outside world. In other way, articles contains the rules and regulation of the company for the management of its internal affairs. Objectives and purposes for which the company has been formed are contained in the memorandum of association, and the rules and regulations for achieving the objective of the company are laid down in the articles. After the required document have been presented to RSC along with the required registration fees, he will give the certificate of incorporation to the company if all formalities are complied with. Approval of the name by the central government is the first step towards the formation of a company. Registrar of the company who is authorized to do this legal formality should be in the state, union territory in which the company has their registered office. This approval is provided subject to certain conditions. There is certain conditions in which ROC provides approval. There should not be an existing company by the same name. In the case of private company, the last word of the company should be include private limited, And in case of public company, the name of the company should be include limited, what at the end of its name. Like for an example, related to private companies, we can say any company like HCL Private Limited. It's a private company. And another one is limited company like Steel Authority. These are the limited companies. In order of preference, the application filed by the company for the allotment of the names should mention at least 4 suitable names to be proposed for the company. Within 7 days from the date of submission of the application, the ROC should inform concerned company about the availability of names applied for is available or not. Once a name is approved, it is valid for a period of 6 months, within which time memorandum and articles together with miscellaneous documents should be filed. If one is unable to do so, an application may be made for renewal of name by paying additional fees. After obtaining the approval of name, it normally takes approximately 2 to 3 weeks to incorporate a company depending on where the company is registered. So this is all about the registration of or incorporation of a company, in which the important document we have discussed, memorandum and article of association, and also understand some legal condition for which the ROC provides the approval. So these are the things we have covered. So now we discuss the incorporation of company under the Companies Act 2013. Under the Companies Act 1956, for incorporation, all the important documents are filed with the registrar by the company under 2013 Act. Section 7 talks about the incorporation of a company. It states that the document shall be filed by the company to the registrar within whose jurisdiction the registered office of a company is proposed to be situated. Subsection 1 of 7 lays down the list of following documents and information which is required to be filed by the company for incorporation. So there are some required documents, and there is a list. So first is duly signed memorandum and article of the company by the subscriber of the memorandum in the manner prescribed. Second is a declaration in the prescribed form by an advocate, a chartered accountant, company secretary, a person named in the articles as a director, manager or secretary of the company, that all the requirements have been compiled with. Third one is an affidavit from which of the subscriber to the memorandum that he is not convicted any fraud or offense in connection with the promotion, formation and or management of the company. So this kind of affidavit is required from each subscriber to the memorandum, and they just ensure that they are not convicted any fraud offense in connection with the promotion, formation or management of the company. The particular of name, surname, residential address, nationality of every subscriber to the memorandum with an identity proof, and in case of a subscriber being a body corporate, such particular as may be prescribed. The particulars of the person mentioned in the article as the first director of the company. On the basis of documents and information filed under the subsection 1, the registrar shall issue a certificate of incorporation in the prescribed form. To this effect, the proposed company is incorporated under this Act. Subsection 3 of the Section 7 of this Act states that on and from the date mentioned in the certificate of incorporation, the registrar shall allot to the company a corporate identity number, CIN, corporate identity number, which will provide a distinct identity to the company and will also be mentioned in the certificate. Under the present Act of 2013, the company shall also maintain and preserve at its registered office all the documents and information filed, and if any person furnishes any false information, he shall be liable for action under Section 477 of the given Act. Regarding the above penal action, a tribunal may pass an order as it may think fit for regulation of the management of the company, or may direct to remove the name of the company from the register of the companies on being satisfied of the situation under subsection 7. After the certificate of incorporation issued, the registrar shall allot to the company a corporate identity number, provided that before passing any order in this regard, the tribunal should give the company a reasonable opportunity of being heard, and the tribunal shall take into consideration transaction entered by the company, including the obligation, if any, contracted or payment of any liabilities. So friends, we have covered registration and incorporation of a company, and now we're moving to the procedure for formation of a company in India. So this is the third part of this video. So there is some procedures required for the formation of a company in India. First is obtain directors identification number for the proposed directors of the company. Second one is obtain digital signature certificate for at least one director for the purpose of filing the forms electronically. Third, file an application for the approval of the name of a company, preparing the memorandum of association and articles of association of the company. Have the appropriate number of persons to subscribe to the memorandum of the company. So minimum 2 subscriber person required in case of private company, and minimum 7 required in case of public company. Submit all the documents along with the required fees to ROC. ROC issues a certificate or receipt of certificate of incorporation. In case of a public company, obtain a certificate of commencement of business from ROC. Introduction to the first and the most important step in forming a company, incorporation under the Companies Act 2013. Understanding the basic document of a company, which are memorandum of association and articles of association, and understanding their importance in incorporating a company under the law. So in this module, you all were informed about the incorporation of a companies under the Companies Act 2013, registration, incorporation, and procedure for formation. It is an effort has been made to provide all aspects of incorporation, including pre-incorporation, comparison between incorporation under the Companies Act 1956 and the Companies Act 2013. So friends, I hope you understand the topic and you like the video. Thank you friend. Stay tuned.